The council had spoken. Earth was no longer a concern, a forgotten planet lost to time and tragedy. Centuries of war, environmental collapse, and internal strife had reduced the once vibrant world to a shell of its former glory. From the polished observation decks of distant starships, alien delegates watched the blue planet fade into obscurity. "It's finished," one counselor had said. "Humanity has failed itself," but deep beneath the cracked surface and ruined cities, life struggled to survive. Small pockets of humanity still breathed in hidden enclave survivors scattered across the globe, eking out a fragile existence. Amid the wreckage, their technology was old, their resources scarce, but their spirit endured. In the shadow of a crumbling skyscraper in what had once been New York City, Dr. Marcus Kane wiped soot from a cracked window and gazed at the sky. His lab was cluttered with salvaged equipment, broken drones, flickering holoscreens, and half-repaired machinery. Despite the decay around him, Marcus's mind buzzed with ideas. Hope sparking in the darkness, "The galaxy has given up on us," he muttered, voice barely audible. "But they don't understand what it means to be human." Marcus had spent years piecing together fragments of lost knowledge. He was no soldier or politician, just a scientist with an unyielding belief that humanity's end was not written yet. Every day, he scavenged, repaired, and invented. His latest project was his most ambitious, a ship, a symbol of human ingenuity. Built from remnants of old Earth technology and whatever alien parts he could salvage, the ship, a sleek, compact craft, sat half-finished in an underground hangar. Its hull was patchwork from metals gathered in ruins and hidden caches, its core powered by a jury-rigged fusion reactor. It was fragile, imperfect, but it was hope. Word of Marcus's work spread quietly through the surviving settlements. Many dismissed it as foolish, a dream of someone unwilling to accept the inevitable. But others saw a chance and ember in the ashes. One evening, as Marcus calibrated the ship's systems, the ground trembled beneath him. The rumble was faint, but unmistakable. His sensors detected an anomaly beneath the city, a buried artifact, long hidden, pulsing with energy not of Earth. Intrigued and cautious, Marcus accessed the encrypted data locked inside the device. It was alien technology, ancient and powerful, something no one had expected to find on a ruined planet. The artifact seemed to resonate with the ship's systems, awakening dormant power. "This changes everything," Marcus whispered, eyes shining with excitement. But not everyone was unaware. From orbit, alien ships observed Earth with suspicion. Too many. This resurgence was a threat. The Varric, an influential species within the council, prepared to send forces to extinguish any spark of human revival before it could ignite. Marcus knew the stakes were higher than ever. This was no longer just a project, it was a battle for humanity's future. Underneath the shattered skyline, Marcus looked up once more. Stars twinkled beyond the pollution and ruin, silent witnesses to a struggle reborn. "They think we're finished," he said, gripping the ship's control panel. "But they haven't seen what we're truly capable of." The night stretched on, and the ship's engines hummed quietly, waiting. A new chapter for Earth was about to begin. Word of Dr. Marcus Kane's project moved like a whisper through the surviving enclaves of Earth. Some called him a fool chasing ghosts, while others saw a glimmer of hope in a world that had forgotten how to dream. Across crumbling cities and scorched wastelands, the rumor spread, humanity was not done yet. In the hidden underground hangar, Marcus worked tirelessly, his hands, scarred from years of scavenging and repair, moved with practiced precision as he connected wires and calibrated ancient systems. The ship, still rough and patchworked, hummed faintly with life, an echo of something greater waiting to awaken. The artifact discovered beneath the city remained a mystery, but its power was undeniable. It resonated with the ship's core, amplifying its systems in ways Marcus had not anticipated. With every test, the ship's engines grew stronger, its sensors sharper. One night, as Marcus adjusted the controls, a sudden burst of energy surged from the artifact. The ship's systems flickered, lights dancing across the control panel in an erratic pattern. Outside, the sky shimmered with a strange, ethereal glow. "This isn't just old tech," Marcus whispered, eyes wide. "It's alive." His message, broadcast quietly from the ship's communication array, was simple but powerful. Humanity was awakening. He sent it to every surviving settlement, every hidden enclave. The signal was weak but clear, a call to arms, a promise that Earth's children were rising. Alien observers watched with growing concern. The very council had assumed Earth was finished, a relic of a bygone era, but Marcus's ship, the artifact's sudden activation, and the unexpected transmission challenged their beliefs. Some called for immediate action, fearing a resurgence that could destabilize the fragile balance of power. Others advocated for caution, intrigued by humanity's stubborn will to survive back on Earth. Marcus's small crew grew. Survivors from scattered settlements arrived, drawn by the promise of hope. Among them was Lena, a skilled pilot with a past marked by loss and determination, and Yorick, a mechanic who could breathe life into broken machines. Together, they formed the core of the rebellion. Their goal was audacious: to launch the ship beyond Earth's atmosphere and send a message to the galaxy that humanity was far from finished. As the day of the first flight approached, tensions ran high. Resources were scarce, and the threat of discovery by hostile forces loomed. Marcus gathered his team in the hangar, the ship's hull shimmering under dim lights. "We're not just flying a ship," he told them. "We're carrying the weight of a species. Every step we take beyond this planet will remind the galaxy that Earth's story is still being written." The launch was a tense ballet of precision and hope. The engines roared to life, shaking the underground chamber. Outside, the remnants of Earth's fractured atmosphere welcomed the rising craft. As the ship broke through the clouds, a surge of emotion filled the crew. For the first time in generations, a human vessel soared into the stars, not as a desperate escape, but as a declaration. From distant star systems, alien fleets took notice. Reports streamed into council chambers. Earth survivors had awakened their technology and were rekindled by an unexpected force. The galaxy had believed humanity's chapter was closed, but Marcus King had just begun a new story. The spark of rebellion was lit. And Earth, long thought finished, was ready to fight. The prototype ship sliced through the upper atmosphere, its hull shimmering as it entered the void beyond Earth's crumbling skies. "Drive!" Marcus King gripped the controls, every nerve alive with a mix of fear and fierce determination. Around him, Lena and Yorick manned their stations, their eyes fixed on the sensors and readouts flickering with data from the stars. "We're out," Lena breathed, a rare smile breaking through the tension. Earth's not just a memory anymore. The ship's unique design, a patchwork of Earth's remnants and alien salvage, was more than a symbol. It was proof of humanity's adaptability, a spark that ignited a fire the galaxy had tried to extinguish. Across light years, alien outposts picked up the signal. The Galactic Council convened urgently. The Varric ambassador's voice echoed in the chamber. "Earth is not finished. Their technology is unlike anything we have seen. This could change everything." The council debated fiercely. Some feared humanity's rise could upset the fragile order. Others saw an opportunity to learn from the species that refused to die. But back aboard the ship, Marcus was focused on one goal: survival and sending a message. With a deep breath, he activated the ship's comms, broadcasting a clear, defiant message across the nearby systems. "This is humanity. We are not finished. We are here, and we will not be ignored." The transmission rippled through space, reaching ears and eyes that had long forgotten Earth's name. But not everyone welcomed the message. In the shadows of a distant star system, the Varric War Council prepared a response fleet, ships bristling with weapons and shields, designed to snuff out any resurgence before it could grow. The first test of Marcus's resolve came swiftly, as the Hope's flame, the name christened by Lena for the ship, ventured deeper into space. Scouts reported an approaching hostile fleet. The enemy closed in, confident that Earth's survivors were still weak and disorganized. But Marcus and his crew had something the enemy had not accounted for: the unpredictable spirit of humanity. Using guerrilla tactics and the ship's hybrid technology, they evaded initial attacks and struck with precision. Yorick's modifications to the ship's weapon systems allowed rapid adaptation, turning enemy strengths into weaknesses. The battle was fierce, with every maneuver pushing the crew to their limits. Yet, through sheer grit and innovative strategy, they outmatched the larger, more conventional fleet. When the dust settled, the Hope's flame floated victorious, a beacon in the darkness. News of their success rippled through human enclaves and alien networks alike. The galaxy was watching, forced to reconsider the legend of humanity not as a fallen race, but as a rising force. For Marcus, the victory was only the beginning. "We have shown we can fight," he told Lena as the stars passed silently outside the viewport. "Now, we must show we can unite." And unite they would. Humanity's journey had begun anew, a journey defined not by the scars of the past, but by the promise of the future. News of the Hope's Flame victory spread like wildfire. Across Earth's scattered enclaves, survivors heard for the first time in generations that humanity's fight was far from over. Hope, once a fragile whisper, grew into a rallying cry. Drive! Marcus Kane and his crew understood their next challenge. Surviving alone in the vastness of space was impossible. They needed allies, both human and alien, who believed in the spark of humanity's return. The first step was reaching out to other human colonies scattered far beyond Earth's orbit. Many had long given up hope of rescue or reunion. Communications had been silent for decades, lost in the chaos that had swallowed Earth. Using salvaged communication rays and new technology enhanced by the alien artifact, Marcus broadcast a message to all human survivors: "We are coming. We are not finished. Join us." Responses trickled in, at first faint signals from distant worlds, voices full of disbelief and caution, then more. A pilot from a remote mining colony sent coordinates, pledging support. A scientist on a water-rich moon offered expertise. Slowly, a network of human survivors began to form, connected by the unyielding hope that Earth's legacy was alive. But humanity was not the only one watching. Some alien factions, intrigued by Marcus's defiance and humanity's adaptability, offered cautious friendship. The Alari, a species known for their wisdom and long memory, extended a diplomatic envoy. "Your spirit reminds us of our own," their message read. "Let us walk with you." Others remained skeptical. The very council debated fiercely should they crush this rising threat or seek an alliance. Their indecision gave Marcus the precious time he needed. As the Hope's Flame and its small fleet navigated through star systems, they encountered new friends and new challenges. The alien ambassador Lyra from the Alari brought valuable knowledge of galactic politics and technology, helping humanity navigate unfamiliar waters. Alongside Lyra, Lena led daring missions to secure vital resources and protect vulnerable colonies. Her flying skills and instinctive leadership earned respect beyond human ranks. Yarrick's engineering marvels transformed captured enemy tech into powerful tools, blending human creativity with alien sophistication. Yet, as alliances grew, so did the shadow of the Varick Coalition. They dispatched agents to sabotage human efforts and spread distrust among potential allies. In one tense encounter, Marcus and his team narrowly escaped an ambush on a remote trading outpost. The experience hardened their resolve and revealed the depths of opposition they faced. "We're not just fighting for Earth anymore," Marcus said during a council meeting aboard the flagship. "We're fighting for every human life scattered across the stars and for the right to exist." His words echoed through the chambers, inspiring not just humans, but many alien allies who began to see humanity as a symbol of resilience. Together, they began planning a bold operation, reclaiming a resource-rich asteroid belt near Earth, critical for fueling their fleet and sustaining their growing alliance. The mission would test their unity, strategy, and courage. As they prepared, Marcus stood on the bridge, watching the stars move past. "This is only the beginning," he said softly. They thought Earth was finished, but humanity was just getting started. The asteroid belt hung before them like a field of glittering stones scattered across the void. It was more than a cluster of rocks. It was a lifeline, a source of precious minerals and fuel critical for the survival of Marcus's fragile alliance. Reclaiming it from hostile forces would not only provide resources, but prove humanity's determination to rise. "This is our proving ground," Marcus said, voice steady but filled with resolve. "If we can hold this, the galaxy will see we're not just survivors, we're contenders." His crew prepared the Hope's Flame and the smaller allied vessels for the operation. Lena ran simulations with precision, plotting attack and defense, maneuvers that relied on speed, agility, and clever tactics rather than brute force. Yarrick made final modifications to weapon systems, turning scavenged tech into unpredictable, adaptive tools of war. As they approached the asteroid belt, they encountered resistance. Varick patrol ships prowled the edges, their sleek designs and overwhelming firepower designed to intimidate. But Marcus and his fleet were ready. Using the chaotic terrain of the asteroid field, they darted between massive rocks, using cover and deception to outmaneuver the enemy. Human pilots, familiar with Earth's unpredictable environments, had an edge in navigating the cluttered battlefield. Lena led a squadron in hit-and-run strikes, disrupting Varick communications and supply lines. Yarrick's ingenuity allowed the teamed to hack enemy drones and turn them into allies in the midst of battle. The conflict was fierce and relentless. Both sides suffered losses, but humanity's unyielding spirit kept them pushing forward. At one critical moment, the Hope's flame took heavy damage. Alarms blared as the ship's systems faltered. Marcus, calm under pressure, coordinated repairs while continuing to command the battle. "We're not done," he said firmly. "Hold the line." Their perseverance paid off. After hours of combat, the Varric forces retreated, unable to break the human defense. The asteroid belt was theirs. Victory was more than a strategic win. It was a message, a declaration that humanity's fight was far from over. Back on the Hope's flame, the crew celebrated quietly. Lena clasped Marcus's shoulder. "We proved them wrong." "We're just getting started," Marcus replied, eyes scanning the stars beyond. The news of their triumph spread quickly through the Alliance and beyond. Other human colonies, inspired by their success, pledged support. Some alien factions reconsidered their stance, recognizing that humanity was a force shaped by resilience and innovation. But the Galactic Council, particularly the Varric leadership, was far from finished. A larger, more powerful fleet was being assembled, tasked with crushing the human resurgence once and for all. As Marcus and his allies prepared for the coming storm, they knew the stakes had never been higher. "This is more than a battle for resources," Marcus said in a meeting with his closest advisors. "It's a battle for our place in the galaxy." And with that, humanity's true test was about to begin. The void trembled with the approach of the Varric fleet, a formidable armada of warships. Bristling with weapons and shields, their mission was clear: to crush the human resurgence before it could spread beyond the asteroid belt and destabilize the fragile galactic order. "Drive!" Marcus Kane stood on the bridge of the Hope's flame, his gaze steady as the enemy fleet filled the viewport. The Alliance ships, though fewer and less equipped, wrestled with resolve. Lena coordinated the pilots with calm authority, while Yarick worked feverishly to optimize their systems. "They think they can break us with sheer power," Marcus said quietly, "but they don't understand the strength of human will." The battle began with a barrage of laser fire and missile volleys. The Varric fleet's overwhelming firepower pushed Marcus's forces to their limits, yet the humans fought back with unconventional tactics that the enemy found difficult to counter. Instead of engaging in direct firefights, Marcus directed hit-and-run maneuvers, exploiting the asteroid field's terrain. The human ships darted through tight corridors of rock and debris, using the environment as a shield. Yarick's engineering genius turned captured Varric technology into tools of disruption. Hacked drones flew erratically into enemy lines, sowing chaos and confusion. Electronic countermeasures scrambled Varric targeting systems. Buying precious seconds, Lena's squadron executed daring raids on enemy supply ships, crippling the Varric fleet's logistics. Each strike, though costly, chipped away at the seemingly invincible armada. But the Varric were relentless. Their commanders adapted quickly, deploying specialized ships designed to counter human tactics. Heavy cruisers with advanced sensors and reinforced armor hunted down the nimble human vessels. In the heart of the chaos, the Hope's flame took a critical hit. Alarms blared as the ship's shields flickered. Marcus refused to retreat. "We hold this line," he ordered, "for humanity's future." His leadership inspired his crew to repair systems mid-battle, pushing the ship to its limits. Lena led a counterattack that caught the Varric off guard, striking a command vessel and disrupting enemy coordination. The turning point came when Marcus authorized a bold, high-risk maneuver, a coordinated strike deep into the Varric fleet's core, aiming to disable their flagship. The assault was dangerous, with heavy losses, yet the combination of human ingenuity, determination, and the element of surprise succeeded. The Varric flagship was crippled, forcing their fleet into disarray. Facing unexpected defeat, the Varric commanders called a retreat. The battle was won, but at a cost. The Alliance had lost many ships and brave souls. Marcus stood before his weary crew, his voice steady. "We have shown the galaxy that humanity will not bow. This war is far from over, but our spirit is unbreakable." The victory sent shockwaves through the Galactic Council. Many began to question the wisdom of underestimating humanity. Whispers of fear and respect mingled in council halls. Meanwhile, across human colonies and alien allies, the news ignited a renewed determination. Humanity was no longer the forgotten species. They were a rising force to be reckoned with. Marcus knew the coming days would demand more than courage and skill. Unity, strategy, and sacrifice would define their path. We fight not just for survival, he told Lena quietly as they watched the stars, but for our future, for a place where humanity can thrive. And so, the War of Wills continued in epic struggle that would shape the fate of Earth and the galaxy itself. The Varric fleet's retreat was a blow to their pride, but not a defeat they would accept lightly. Their commanders convened behind closed doors, plotting retaliation with cold precision. They underestimated humanity once, but they would not make that mistake again. Meanwhile, aboard the Hope's Flame Drive, Marcus Kane and his allies took stock of their situation. The losses weighed heavily on them, but so did the victory. Humanity's resolve had proven stronger than any enemy weapon. The alliance was growing, bolstered by the victory and the stories of human tenacity. Distant human colonies responded with renewed vigor, dispatching ships, supplies, and personnel. Alien factions, inspired by humanity's courage, offered new technologies and strategic support. "This is our moment," Lena said during a strategy briefing. "We have momentum. If we press now, we can secure a foothold in this sector and build a future." Marcus nodded. "The galaxy has never seen what humans are truly capable of. It's time we showed them." Their plan was ambitious. With their growing fleet, they aimed to secure a strategic star system near Earth, one rich in resources and positioned as a gateway to further expansion. Control of this system would serve as a base for defense and a symbol of humanity's return. As they approached the target system, scouts detected increased Varric activity. The enemy was preparing an ambush, expecting humanity to overextend. But Marcus anticipated this. He divided his fleet into smaller groups, using decoys and stealth technology to confuse the enemy. Lena led a fast strike team, while Marcus took a direct approach with the main fleet. The battle that followed was unlike any before and intense. Multi-front engagement, testing every skill and tactic the Alliance had developed. Human pilots displayed daring maneuvers born from Earth's unpredictable environments. Orcs teams deployed electronic warfare that scrambled Varric sensors and communications. Alien allies provided critical support with advanced weaponry and shields. Mid-battle, Marcus took a risk, leading a squadron deep into the enemy's command center, targeting their leadership and crippling their ability to coordinate. The plan worked. Varric forces, disoriented and fractured, began to retreat. The strategic system fell to humanity and its allies. Victory ignited celebrations across the Alliance. But Marcus reminded them it was just the beginning. "We've turned the tide. But the war is not won," he said. "Our enemies will adapt, and so must we." The galaxy was taking notice. Messages of support and curiosity arrived from distant systems. Some saw humanity as a threat to be contained. Others saw a partner in rebuilding a fractured universe. Marcus's vision expanded beyond survival. He dreamed of a future where humanity stood not just as survivors, but as leaders, champions of resilience and unity. Yet, shadows lingered, unknown to Marcus and his allies. A mysterious force watched from the edges of known space, and ancient power stirred by the resurgence of humanity. Their intentions were unclear, but their presence hinted at challenges beyond any they had faced. As the Hope's Flame prepared for the next phase of its journey, Marcus stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the stars. "Earth was never finished," he said softly, "and humanity's story is far from over." The war had stretched on longer than anyone had dared imagine. The galaxy had witnessed humanity's resilience, their indomitable spirit rising from the ashes of a shattered Earth. Now, on the bridge of the Hope's Flame, Dr. Marcus Kane watched the dawn of a new era. The strategic star system they had claimed thrummed with life, human and alien colonies alike rebuilding, growing stronger. The Alliance was no longer a fragile network, but a coalition bound by shared purpose and hope. Yet, the distant warning lingered, the mysterious force lurking beyond known space, its presence like a shadow across every victory. Marcus knew that survival had brought humanity this far, but now it was time to thrive. He gathered his closest advisors in the command room. Lena, Yarek, and the Alari ambassador Lyra stood ready. "Our enemies within the Galactic Council are regrouping," Marcus began. "But we have something they do not: unity across species, a vision for the future, and the courage to fight for it." Lyra nodded. "We have gained many friends, and our alliances grow stronger every day. But the unknown beyond our borders remains a threat. We cannot ignore it," Lena said. "We must prepare for what's coming while continuing to build what we have. Yarek, ever the pragmatist, added, "Our technology has come a long way. Combining human innovation with alien advancements has given us tools they could never expect." Together, they began charting a course not just for defense, but for exploration, diplomacy, and rebuilding a galaxy fractured by fear and mistrust. As the Hope's flame and its fleet set out to establish new outposts, secure trade routes, and foster cooperation, Marcus reflected on how far humanity had come, from a single man's resolve to a united front standing tall among the stars. The journey was a testament to human spirit. Then, the first signals came, strange, rhythmic pulses from the edge of known space. Curiosity replaced fear. Instead of weapons, they sent emissaries. Humanity would not be defined by conquest, but by connection. The mysterious force revealed itself not as an enemy, but an ancient civilization long dormant, awakened by humanity's light. Their arrival was cautious, but their message clear. The galaxy was changing, and new alliances were necessary to face what lay ahead. Marcus met their leaders with open hands and open heart. This was the beginning of something greater, a future, shaped not by isolation or fear, but by unity and hope. As the sun rose on this new dawn, Marcus looked out at the stars. Earth was no longer the last chapter, but the first page of a grand story. They thought Earth was finished, he whispered, but humanity was just getting started. And with that, humanity's legacy began not as survivors, but as architects of a brighter galaxy.